Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of This Is My Bourbon Podcast. I'm your host, Perry. With me this week, it's my co-host, the Whiskey Mutant himself, Eric Smith.
Ka-chow.
Ka-chow.
Ka-chow. Do you think cars, like when you open their doors, the cars in the Disney universe, like you see their guts and stuff?
Probably.
Kind of gross, right?
Unless they're all like, it's like mechanical guts.
Well, no, what if it's like real, like they're like real?
I don't know, man. He's asking the tough questions. It's way too early in the episode for these tough questions.
I was thinking about that last night. Just thought I'd ask.
I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. We're recording this the day after Thanksgiving.
Stuffed.
I'm tired.
Tired.
I'm very tired.
Sick and tired of me. Sick and tired.
I'm not sick and tired.
I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Of being sick and tired. I'm not really sick.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been here for like 2 hours.
Well, if you are just showing up for the first time ever and you are listening to the podcast for the first time, hi, thank you for being here. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. Watch it on YouTube if you want to do that. YouTube.com/This Is My Bourbon Podcast. You can also just listen to the audio of it. But this week, you're going to miss a little bit of visual action if you're only listening.
All the action.
Because we got a lot of stuff we're doing today.
Every time we're like, we're just going to have we're just going to do this
episode.
One review. And it's like we add like 5 things on before the.
Well, I mean, I wasn't really feeling like doing any news right now because it's that post-Thanksgiving exhaustion.
News just bums me out anyway.
Does it?
Just news.
Oh, news. Well, we weren't going to do like mainstream news.
I don't know. I'm just saying the news.
Okay. Follow us on social media at My Bourbon Pod, at Whiskey Mutant. We put out a really fun Thanksgiving reel / TikTok.
A lot of people said some good stuff about it.
They've been digging it. Yeah. I jokingly said that we should do a director's commentary sometime, but I think it'd be fun just to kind of go behind the scenes.
This scene was actually filmed at this time.
I mean, there was a whole lot of incongruity within it.
At one point, there was a real turkey involved, and it didn't work out.
Yeah, well, that's how we had dinner.
Yeah. And then we ate hot dogs.
Yeah. Anyway, go check that out. Patreon.com/My Bourbon Podcast is where you can support the show for as little as $1 a month. For as little as $5 a month, you can hear a bunch of bonus content as well.
Yeah.
But most importantly right now, we are in the month of November very soon, but in the first couple of weeks of December as well. Did I say December twice?
3 times.
Yep. November is ending. December is starting. In the first couple weeks of December, we are going to continue our fundraiser for splash.org. You can head to splash.org/TIMBP, splash.org/TIMBIP to donate. That is our unique donation site.
We can keep track of all that, right?
We can keep track of some of that. We can keep track of the total, but we can't keep track of the individual donors. So, here's the thing. We are going to be doing a live stream on the second Saturday in October. I believe that is
October.
December. Golly, man. I believe that's December 10th. And that is going to be for, essentially it's going to be for everyone. It's going to be our last big push for the fundraiser for Splash. But there are going to be prizes and rewards, that are going to be kind of doled out throughout that live stream. And those are going to be exclusive to the people who have actually donated. So here's the thing. I meant to say this last week. I completely forgot to do it. But since we cannot keep track of the individual donors, individual donations, if you would please, so that we can make sure that you are included in our giveaway thing for that live stream, send me a screenshot of your donation. You can email it. This is mybourbonshop@gmail.com. You can send it in a DM at My Bourbon Pod, whatever. Just want to make sure that we have it so that we can include everybody who has been a part of that. And I just want to go ahead and say thank you to for everybody who has donated so far. As far as I know, we have done very well.
Good.
And that's all been because of you guys.
Yes.
So huge thank you for all of that support and for showing up and showing out to support people who are less privileged than we are.
Yeah.
This is the hardest time of year for those folks. And so Want to make sure that they're taken care of. We got to take care of some other business.
Some business.
Which I am very excited to try. You are a little bit more skeptical.
I have my thoughts. I'm not saying, okay, we'll just get to it.
So yesterday's Good Mythical Morning, Rhett and Link did a whole thing about how they weren't actually doing a Thanksgiving episode because their numbers always dip on Thanksgiving Day because they anticipate that people are going to like sit down and watch it with their families, and then they don't, and then they're like, well, we had these great ideas, and so today we're just going to sit here and talk. And so Rhett gave Link a lot of hell for the way that he prepares his ham for their big joint family Thanksgivings. Anyway, all that's beside the point. They tweeted a picture out, a screen grab of that episode, and beneath it, their in studio chef who prepares all of their like crazy dishes and everything, Mythical Chef Josh, tweeted LMAO, Mythical Kitchen put out an episode. Go watch that, please. And I replied to him, Josh, what bourbon would you pair with turkey this year? He said, Wild Turkey American Honey blended with Woodford Reserve, served on a big-ass clear ice sphere with cinnamon smoke.
Okay, I'm following him until the Woodford.
Now, I replied and said, can you be on the podcast soon, please?
And what do they say?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing yet.
Well.
But I have reached out to Josh to be on the show sometime soon.
What if he puts you on their show?
I'd lose my mind. I would absolutely lose my mind. So we're gonna put this to the test.
This is my favorite Woodford because it's so small and it's gone really fast.
And some American honey as well. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna create this cocktail. And apparently I am really bad at opening things.
So
today.
I'm assuming 1-1. Right?
That's what I'm thinking.
1-1. I just feel like there's a better option than Woodford.
Woodford Double Oak?
Well, just anything other than Woodford.
What a nice color.
Yeah, that actually does look pretty good.
You know, I was gonna do like both of these little bottles
I think we could say
together. I think we can
we'll
hold
split
off. So here is the mixture.
American honey.
Now, right off the bat, it smells pretty good.
Okay, Josh, I'm listening.
And we have our cocktail smoker kit here.
Oh, bro.
Prepared with some cinnamon
yeah.
sticks. We're going to put it on top of the cocktail glass.
This is crazy.
We have never done anything like this before on the podcast. And I guarantee it's about to smell amazing out here, too.
Just the whole thing lights on fire.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. Oh, bro. Light it up. Look at that. This is sweet.
And then we cover it up so that the smoke gets into the cocktail glass.
And then we will add the ice ball because the ice ball was a big ass ball and it was too big for the smoker to cover. So we are following this to the T. We have cinnamon smoke.
I'm genuinely so excited about this.
Yeah, I'm pumped for this.
I was kind of like, I was starting to get a little skeptical.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and I don't really know how long to leave that on there either.
I don't feel like it needs too long.
But I'm also not seeing...
Oh, it smells good.
I'm not seeing a lot of, like, smoke getting
light it up more.
Yeah.
Burn it down. Burn it down. There we go.
Yeah, there's some smoke getting into that glass.
I wonder what we would name this. You think he's named it already? The Mythical Turkey?
I like that.
You think so?
Mythical Turkey Reserve.
I get that he used Woodford because it is a very common bourbon.
Yeah.
But I feel like if this is good, imagine how much better it could be with like something better than Woodford.
If this is good, we are going to find a way to improve upon this cocktail.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm going to give it just a second more. But, I mean, it's working.
It smells good.
It smells great out here.
This is the best it's smelled in a while.
Should we
usually stink really bad.
Yeah, sorry. Do we want to light up?
Yeah.
For the glasses?
I mean, we're going to light up right now. I mean, it's been a while.
Are we going to get banned from YouTube?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
So,
all right. How's it smelling?
smells pretty good.
Yeah.
It smells smoky. It smells, I don't know if I get a lot of cinnamon, but I definitely get a smoked old-fashioned-y type deal.
Yeah.
It's definitely a smoked cocktail. I can smell it.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
Here's what I'm going to do.
You going to light that up?
Well,
Is this our incense? I'm just going to...
I was going to say put it in the cocktail, but... Oh, that's got more of the smoke on it.
What's that thing when they do the thing where they purify the environment or something? Cleanse the mood, and they're like, oh,
You're the bad energy or something.
something like that.
I don't know.
All right, cheers.
All right, man.
Mythical turkey.
Mythical Turkey Reserve. I like it.
No, it's good.
I like that a lot.
This could be so much better.
I agree, but as it is, for somebody
As
who's
a
not
cocktail, this is fucking good.
and it's for somebody who is not really, maybe not really a bourbon drinker.
Oh, well, I can soak this. Okay, I'll take back what I said. I trust Josh now.
I trust Josh as well.
But I would like to figure out a way to amplify this with a bourbon that sticks out a little bit more. But as far as like the turkey, wild turkey, honey, and the bourbon and the cinnamon smoke, I can get behind this.
I gotta get a picture of this now.
Yeah, I need to I'll use those for the picture too. When we make our little post. Man. That's good.
It's really good, dude. I'm impressed. I wonder if he had it like
What he probably just
pre-planned
he
or
bullshitted. He was just
He
right at the
coulda-
top
he
of his
could
head.
have.
You know what? I
He
think
could
this
have.
and this and this will work.
But
Have
even
they
if
done a cocktail episode?
no, they don't do a whole lot of alcohol on the show because of YouTube's
Oh yeah.
guidelines for.
Do they have a Patreon or something?
They've got like a kind of. It's their
They
own
make
like private
1 million
Patreon.
a month or something. like
Yeah.
that.
They make a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, they are very well off.
I figured.
Dang,
Wow.
man.
You know, I used to drink a lot of American honey before I was like an actual like.
Yeah.
I would freeze it, but it wouldn't freeze. But I would put it in the freezer.
Just get it
It's
really,
super
really cold. Yeah.
and that would be my drink. And I was like, "Oh, look at this! I'm drinking some neat whiskey."
Yeah, I mean, I was the same way. I had I was more Jim Beam honey.
Okay.
So,
I mean,
but I still loved American honey.
yeah.
The further it goes, too, the better it gets.
Apparently, American honey was the idea of Jimmy's wife. She told this to April when we did a tour. She said, "Did you try the honey? That was my idea because I wanted something sweet, and he made it for me."
You know what we should really do? Sorry, I'm invading on your space, but I'm kind of running out of room over here.
I like this one.
Right off the bat, I'm okay with maintaining like a Brown Forman product. I think I would rather go with something like Jack Bonded or even Jack Barrel Proof.
Yeah.
And then I think this could be even better if we use American Honey Sting.
Oh, the Sting?
Yeah.
What would it be like with Old Forester Rye?
Oh, it'd be freaking amazing.
Well, I guess we got a little figuring out.
We got
to
some
do.
experimentation to do.
Thumbs up, Josh. I trust
Thanks,
you now.
Josh.
You didn't make the Little Debbie's and the episode that they did with that. That's the only thing I question those guys.
That was
their Little Debbie palettes. Yeah. Other than that, this is good.
Yeah, because they did not like your fudge rounds.
Heck no, they didn't. I need a battle. I need a Little Debbie battle with them.
Yeah. Well, when we inevitably get them on, what I want to do is for you to send a Jack Barrel Proof sample with some fudge rounds,
Yeah.
so they can do that pairing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's so many things that we're gonna
Right.
do when we get them on.
Speaking of pairings,
Sips and snacks,
sips
boy.
and snacks.
Are we officially into Christmas mode now?
I think this is like the in between.
This is the refractory period.
This is the 1 week get ready for Christmas. Then next week is Christmas mode.
I think that's a great idea.
All right, so because this is the snack we're going to do. This pairing came about last night at like 10:30 before I went to bed.
Nice.
And I kid you not, just stopped and I said, "Oh my God, this is really good." So we're going to do a little pairing. Oh yeah, I got a little surprise too while I'm doing this.
Got a surprise?
Yeah. Patrick Starkey sent me a package because he was helping me get a pair of shoes, and he put some other stuff in there, and he put 2 Funko Pops in there.
What?
And if you don't know, Bourbon New Patrick Starkey, he actually got us the Funko Pops that we take our pictures with.
Yeah.
But he sent 2 Marvel Funko Pops, and he didn't say why. I think he was just sending me Funko Pops.
Yeah.
But in my mind, this is like the variants of us to me.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
I feel like this could be our variants. So there's a Deadpool in there, which bald, disfigured,
You're
mutant.
not disfigured.
I mean, but I feel like I could be Deadpool.
Okay.
And then there is a handsome, long-haired
Morbius.
which is you. So I think this is us. Like, I think you should keep these over here for like the live stream or something. This is us.
That's incredible.
Deadpool and Morbius.
Pat, I love this. Zombie Morbius.
Still Morbius. What's it?
Still Morbius. What's the Where's the exclusive? It says it's an exclusive, but it doesn't say where from.
It's just exclusive.
Okay.
So I think this is like our variants.
100%.
Yeah. Deadpool and Morbius.
That's what we do for Halloween next year. Is we both dress up.
I don't know if there's anywhere to put them here.
Not currently, but
No, they'll fall there. So yeah, there's
Hey.
that.
this is a heck of a day, man.
All right, so this is a homemade dessert that Addison made, my daughter.
Oh,
This is, don't look at that if you want to do this blind.
I saw the bottle already.
Oh, never mind then.
Sorry.
This is homemade carrot cake with cream cheese icing and Jim Beam Black, like the new one, not like the old one or anything. This is Jim Beam Black and carrot cake. And here's 2 forks, by the way. There's actually 2 bowls if we want to split it.
Okay. No, I want all of it.
Lots of bowls and smoking and stuff in this episode.
Yeah.
And I had this at like 10:30 last night to finish off my day, and I kid you not. I mean, there's something about this pairing.
Was it like a light bulb moment?
Well, it was a light bulb moment after I tried it. But what had happened was everybody was asleep. I'd already locked the basement, put the cat downstairs, and I went to the shelf in the kitchen that has just a bunch of like just random things in it, and I was like, it's getting late. I know we're recording, and I don't want to do anything like high proof. And I just saw I was like, I think a Beam product would be good. And I saw the Jim Beam Black.
This carrot cake is excellent.
Made from scratch. Is scratch the right word?
Mm-hmm. What would the alternative be?
Well, I mean, like, sometimes when I think it's made from scratch, I'm like, Grandma just went in there and she just started grabbing stuff like nothing. Like, I made this from nothing. But scratch, you bought all the ingredients, you made the mix, you made it all, you followed a recipe, and then that you didn't buy. She didn't get a box and pour it in there and mix it up and then just call it a day. Like, she shredded everything, little carrots and all that stuff.
No.
Okay.
Oh man, carrot cake is my favorite cake.
Oh, they're so good. She did a great job.
Carrot cake and cheesecake are my 2 favorites. And this is incredible. Addison, I know you're probably not listening to your dad and his friend on an episode of their podcast about bourbon, but boy howdy, you knocked it out of the park. Thinking about trying to include the phrase "boy howdy" in more of my vernacular.
Oh,
Oh snap!
yeah, dude. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know if it's like the kind of nutty Jim Beam, like the little. I don't know. It just brings out something in the carrot cake. Adds like a little bit extra flavor to it or something.
It transforms it into something.
Wow.
It brings out more of the raisin.
Yeah. I don't know. I just sit there on the couch for a second, and it was just when the pairing hits, and I was like, we got to do this tomorrow. Oh, wow. That's so good.
That is wonderful.
So, if you want to do a pairing,
Man, all kinds of good smells out here today.
carrot cake and Jim Beam Black.
Man. Thanks, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been drinking recently?
Well, I'll run through a couple things, and then I want to talk about a sample we got sent that we had the other day.
Oh, yeah.
On Thanksgiving, I had I made some maple old fashions. I used Evan Williams. I did have a little bit of Russell's Reserve. Opened back up the new Master's Keep that we have.
Yeah.
Had a little bit of that. Had Kentucky Owl Batch 1 rye. And yeah, that was what I had during Thanksgiving. When you came over a few days before, we had a little Friendsgiving thing and had all that. We were lucky enough to try Van Winkle rye, and that was the first time that I tried that. And our friend Tony Bag of Donuts sent that to us. Perry brought it over, and we just enjoyed it right there. It's just nice to. I like being able to talk about it, but I like having a moment too where it's like we try a sample and it's not like we're filming it or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we could have set the phone up and did a little quick live or done something as Tony got us done, blah, blah, blah. But it was nice just to be sitting around just at families together. We're just hanging out, having fun. And it's like, hey, let's sit down, let's pour this up and chill with it.
Well, it's why it's why we started Sampling Irresistible. And B, I have only realized more and more since we've done Sampling Irresistible that it is not curing the disease that it's set out
you have
to.
more.
Because I just keep getting samples. And so, like, I now need to just. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for that to sound like a
sample me. No, I was just saying.
Sample me, daddy.
Sample me, daddy.
I need to be more proactive about the samples that we receive.
There's only enough time in the day, though.
Well, there's only enough time and the week and
your health.
And I can, yeah, exactly. I mean, at some point it does kind of all start to run together. And I mean, like, when I'm not drinking for the show, I'm usually drinking something that is a little less consequential is not the right word, but that's kind of where I'm leaning.
Comforting? More comforting.
It's more comforting.
Yes.
It's less like thought provoking.
Right. It's your like blanket.
It's my go. Yeah. It's more of like my go-tos. Like
it's like I know I'm going to be sitting on this spot on the couch, and I know if I have this in my glass, it's just going to make everything feel good.
Yeah. Like the amount of Knob Creek single barrels that I go through that I don't really talk about on the show just because it gets kind of redundant after a while. You need to try some of that before you leave, by the way. But there's just so much to go through, and on top of being sent samples by listeners and friends, we also get media samples, and so I mean during the pregame chats, I had to run out and grab the Barrel Bourbon New Year sample.
They gave
that
you a
they
beanie, too.
just sent. They gave a beanie that was very sweet of them to send. I haven't worn a beanie since I was in college.
It's not really cold today.
No, it was also itching me a little bit. So I figured it was best to forego the beanie. But yeah, I agree with you. It's nice to not have to drink something all the time that you feel like you have to be making content with. You know?
But Van Winkle Rye is very good.
It's pretty freaking awesome.
Tasted like candy. I mean, I can't explain it anymore. It was one too where I was just like, this is just awesome that I'm having it, and I'm not even going to sit and try to analyze this. I'm just going to freaking just enjoy this to every drop, and it was so good.
Yeah. The only note that you gave me was when you go, "Oh, this is like candy,"
Yeah,
and then we just let each other enjoy it without having to dissect it. And think about nose, palate, finish, and price.
right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Thanks for bringing that, man.
Of course.
It was fantastic. Yeah, so I did get a new Knob Creek pick from a local
try a little bit of it.
group. The local Kentucky bourbon or Lexington, Kentucky bourbon.
Local Kentucky bourbon.
Local Kentucky bourbon.
But I thought the group on Facebook is like Lexington or something. I don't know.
I don't either. Picked it up from our buddy Jade Haddix the other day.
They went all waxy on it.
Very gold waxy.
Gold waxed the Knob Creek.
I had to cut through it with my knife.
Last wax Knob Creek I had was white wax.
We don't talk about that one though.
Well,
it was a great pick though.
It was.
It was just not anything you wanted to bring out around.
Yeah, you couldn't really set it out
folks.
on the table and when grandma's around,
or your kids,
or even maybe your wife. Depending on what kind of mood she's in.
America. We also have a Bourbon County Stout on the table.
We do. We'll pour that up in a little bit and give it a little review. I don't know why I'm talking like that.
Me neither. It's the new energy.
This it doesn't smell strongly Knob Creeky.
To be frank, it doesn't really taste super Knob Creeky either.
It's almost bright. It's like a sweet, more sweety than knobby. Oh. Apple turnover. It's fruity. It's fruity and desserty.
The first couple pours that I had from it, the main note that I was getting was honey graham crackers.
Oh, I can see that.
And I still get that, almost like Teddy Grahams.
Yeah. Yeah, I get like an apple,
good,
almost like an apple pie, and it could even have like a graham cracker crust on it or something.
Yeah. What a fun episode this has been so far. It's wild, just all over the place.
Nice, I like that.
Mm-hmm. I'm still smelling a bunch of that cinnamon smoke out here.
This is one of the better
9 year
Knob Creek
picks.
I was going to say young, but 9 years is not that young.
Well, young.
Or a Knob Creek, though.
Yeah. What just happened to my nose? Why did it get so red? Did you just punch me and I didn't notice it?
Yeah, I was that fast.
I'm not even mad. I'm just impressed.
Yeah.
Oh, Bourbon County Stout?
Yeah, let's go.
Whew. We're blazing through stuff today. We're blazing through.
I got this little boy stouty glass.
Tell everybody why you had to get a little boy stouty glass, Eric.
Well, I don't drink stouts all the time, and I got like a 6:30 p.m. hangover the other day when I drank all that stout. Plus, I poured half of mine back in your glass. Not because it was bad, just because I just can't drink a lot of stout. Oh, my Lord.
Do you want more?
No, that's good. Okay. Look at that.
Now this.
That's dark. Tell me about this one. I don't know nothing about it. Give me the deets.
Excited to have this one.
Give me the deets.
This is the Goose Island Bourbon County Reserve 2-year Barleywine Ale. So this isn't even a stout.
Oh.
Yeah. Barley wine ale aged in Old Fitzgerald bourbon barrels for 2 years.
Old Fitz.
Old Fitz barrels.
Nice.
You know what we got on the table somewhere.
Old Fitz is somewhere here.
Yeah. It's lighter than a stout for sure. I mean, you can
I could
actually
probably
see
finish
through it.
more of that there. Fill my glass up here.
And it's a lot more more carbonated than a stout normally is.
What's the
17?
17?
17 is the ABV.
Okay.
34 proof beer.
Okay. Well, so what is barley wine ale?
Don't know.
Okay. Just checking. I was just making sure I wasn't supposed to know something about it. I do know what Old Fitzgerald is, though.
Now, I will say this too. This is not the first barley wine ale that they have been aged in a wheated bourbon barrel, because they did one with Larceny a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Develops in the bottle up to 5 years?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Now, would you leave this just in a cold spot or actually in the fridge for that long?
I usually leave mine in the fridge.
Okay.
Just because I don't ever really know what's going to happen in this ever-changing garage studio area.
That smells different.
Oh, it smells like sour mash.
I was going to say
It smells like walking into a fermentation room.
It smells like you're on the thing and you can dip your fingers in the thing and. All right, cheers.
Dink it.
Goose Island.
And sink it.
Okay.
Whoa!
Tastes like soy sauce. Like, it has a soy sauce, like, kind of bitterness to it.
Wow.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm not either. I just wasn't anticipating it.
But I like that this is a little thinner than that last one.
Yeah, me too.
I could drink on this a little bit more. Like, I could definitely be, I'm okay with this.
Now, this one is probably going to be in the more expensive
It's going to be the hard
category.
one to get.
Yeah, A, because it is, it's something a little bit different, and B, because, it's got that extra little quality to it. You're all about this one.
Oh, I like this one.
I wasn't anticipating that.
I like this one.
Do you want me to go get that big glass?
No, we're good. It's still 17 proof or whatever you said, but no, I'm just saying, like, I could see myself getting this one and pouring a full glass and enjoying it. Like, I would not be like, oh, I can't finish this or something like that. Because I really think that last week the one was good, but I really would have been like, hey, Barry, just finish this for me. Like, I can't do this. I can do this one though.
Yeah. I'm curious how you're going to react to next week's one.
What's that?
Do you want me to tell you now, or do you want it to be a surprise for everybody?
Let's be a surprise. How many different Goose Islands are there?
This year, of the bourbon counties, I think there are like 8.
Okay, and we got 3.
We got 3 of them. Yeah,
They released the day, didn't they? Everywhere.
Yeah.
Apparently, our area wasn't getting a lot of them.
No. Our area didn't get this one, which I think is insane. And they also did not get the 30th anniversary Bookers.
Oh.
Too. Well, it's not just Bookers. It's Bookers, Knob Creek, Basil Hayden, and a 4th one. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Man, I'd like to have some cookies with this. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like chocolate chip cookies.
And so I also refrained from requesting one of the standard offerings, like just the regular annual Bourbon County Stout
We can get
that
those
comes out. Yeah, that's exactly why.
Yeah.
Because we find them around here more often than I was anticipating.
Yeah.
Honestly. I mean, it was well into like May of this year that last year's were still readily available.
I saw the regular one sitting at Ernie's this morning.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I fully anticipate Total Wine to have plenty of these.
Just
plenty of the original, the regular offering.
Don't ask them Don't ask Chad for any.
Why not?
He'll post about it. He'll be mad. He'll do like a post that says, "We're trying to work here. Don't ask me about my."
Dude, that was deserved, though.
Don't ask me about that.
I mean, that was a well-deserved criticism of consumers. I think it was, at least. Why don't you agree with that?
Oh, I mean,
You just don't want him to whine?
yeah. That's just life. What did he say exactly?
Do not ask nicely. Do not go into a retail store on Thanksgiving and tell an employee you got out of bed and away from your family for something you knew wasn't available. That's a choice. Don't be rude to the cashier. They are paid to make your experience end well, not hear about what you wished was being sold.
I do agree.
I fully agree with that.
I agree. Don't be rude. But like, at the same time, retail stores and everybody are known to put things out on these days. Like, they're notorious for it. So at the same time, they started it. Yes, don't be rude. I completely agree with that. But at the same time, there's a reason people get out and do that, because for a while it's been like people would put special releases on the day after Thanksgiving or the day of Thanksgiving. Like, we've seen it all the time. So it's like a little bit of both. I don't think you should be rude at all, ever, in any situation. Not. But at the same time, I think retail stores are going to expect people to be talking like that and say that and come out for stuff like that, because it's very well known that releases have been put out at that time.
Now, but here's the thing, though. that was on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah,
like we were recording on Black Friday,
right?
And I think I am more willing to empathize or sympathize with him with it being Thanksgiving, because in this particular scenario, the person who is complaining has made the choice to be away from their family, and then comes into your place of business and complains to you, somebody who did not necessarily have the choice to stay with or be away from their family for a holiday.
Yeah, but you took that job, so yeah, like just being a nurse, like you're going to have to work on Thanksgiving. That's just part of it.
I understand.
I'm just saying, like,
that.
No, I agree with don't be rude. I'm just saying, like, the retail stores are the reason people do this, because they have put out releases plenty of times on Thanksgiving Day, like Liquor Barn and different places like that.
Okay.
So I'm just saying he's not all the way right, just because I don't want him to be all the way right.
So that's your own personal bias that you're now bringing to the table.
Pretty much. I'm just saying, like,
you're not doing great with your own argument.
I'm
here,
the
buddy.
best at my own argument. I'm just saying
I am doing the best at this.
I am the best at this. I'm just saying, like, stores too. Like, I mean, I see it in the hospital and stuff like that. Like, I usually don't talk about where I work, but I don't know.
But everybody knows you're a nurse.
Do they?
We've talked about it plenty of times.
I thought I only kept it on Patreon.
No, we talk about it.
Have I?
I'm like 98% sure that we have.
That doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm just saying,
but
like,
nobody knows where you work.
True. I'm just saying, I think, I'm taking away me and Chad's fun. Just when stores do things in the past, and then people come in and they don't have something in another time, that's just people doing what they were used to. Like, they were used to stores having releases and stuff. And yes, everybody is a lot worse now. Like, there's a lot more people doing it, and there's a lot more people being turds and rude, and that's unacceptable. But at the same time, it's going to happen, because they started the tradition of putting releases out like Thanksgiving and stuff. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm getting back on just serious, non like WWE style. I want Chad to be wrong.
Yeah.
Because I agree. Like, yeah, you shouldn't be rude to cash registers and stuff like that. But at the same time, hopefully retailers are at least telling their cash registers and stuff how you need to expect this, because this is just a thing that's happened a lot before. So. Yeah,
no, I don't disagree with that aspect of it.
It's people are going to hunt on Thanksgiving Day no matter what because that was a thing. That's all I'm saying.
And I inherently, I feel like I have to sneeze, but I don't know if it's ever going to hit me. It's okay. I muted it.
What? That was a good one.
I mute every burp in the main episode.
I don't normally burp though, so that was a pretty good one.
Fine, I left it in.
Yes.
I lost my point. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I inherently just kind of expect the best from everybody. And like, especially, and the people who are going to Total Wine on a holiday anticipating a big bourbon release, I think that as far as like the people who are listening to Tim Bip and that group of people, as far as like the Venn diagram goes, it's a pretty small sliver in the middle of where that overlaps.
No, I don't think anybody listening right now is the people that are taking time away from their family and stuff. I think, but in general, there are not, the majority of people who do that are people who don't care enough about the bourbon. They're more like just chasing a bottle.
Yeah.
And
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, my thing is like, I think it's just like, it's just one of those things. It's just like in my job. It's like, yes, patience, we're here to take care of you. We're here to do that. But at the same time, let us do our job. Let us do that. But at the same time, I know that when our bosses and corporations are blasting things out on like signs on the internet, like the best care, you'll get what you get. That's what they're expecting. When a store has put out releases in the past, people are coming in there expecting something. So they got to be ready for all the people expecting it. And then the people who don't get the bottle need to learn to be like, oh yeah, they didn't have it. I'm just going to go. So.
Yeah. I also think that Total Wine in Kentucky is an anomaly. It is such a weird subsection of places that people expect to go and find good bourbon at. Yeah. You know, when the very first Total Wine opened up in Lexington, out in Lexington Green, they had some pretty good releases. They had some really nice picks that were available. Mm-hmm. Their prices were phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, that was when you were getting Turkey 101 for, and you know, they inevitably raised those prices, but you were able to go and get Turkey 101 for $17 a bottle.
Yeah.
Which was insane. I mean, I wish that I had stocked up on Turkey 101 the way that I did for this Thanksgiving. Which, by the way,
haven't bought a lot of Turkey 101.
I never really got too much of what I was drinking or what I had been drinking recently. But all throughout Thanksgiving, the only bourbon that I had to drink was Turkey 101.
Well, we made a whole turkey of 101.
I had to, because I have so much of it now.
We literally made a video about this on our Instagram.
I have so much Turkey 101. But the good thing is that I had people to share it with, too. Yeah. And so the only thing that's really left, aside from one of those travel size bottles, is the handle.
Oh, that handle.
So
the body.
The carcass.
The breasts.
Anyway, Kentucky's just a weird place for
it is because it's
for bourbon releases and the expectation for bourbon to be released.
And it's like stuff. The big stores especially have done so many random stuff like that people are just expecting it all the time now. Like, I mean, I'm not going to throw out. There's another big store that's not Total Wine that put out Buffalo Trace allocations during a snowstorm.
Yeah.
And people were driving out in the middle of it. Somebody posted, hey, they got this, Weller 12, whatever. And it was during a snowstorm. I'm just...
No, I know. I know.
I don't know. But yeah, Chad, I love you. You know I do. I'm just giving you shit. Like, I guess I was playing devil's advocate for this. Because I think it's a great conversation to have when just that the consumer and the hunters and everybody versus the retailers and how the stuff they got to go through. And it's just, it really puts it into perspective how people need to respect each other.
Well, and in this particular instance, it's not Chad's fault.
No, it's not.
but he is taking up for the people that are a part of his tribe.
Yeah.
You know, just breaking it
Oh
down
my
to
God.
a
If
more
Chad was my chief, I don't know if I would be. How do you get out of it?
but breaking it down to a you have to deconstruct and then you have to renounce the old ways and you have to say, well, whatever happens happens. but breaking it down to like that kind of fundamental humanity level of like you defend the people that you are the closest to and that you have the most
Right.
interaction with.
Right.
Like his thought process was, these are the people that I care about, that I have been placed with in the thing that helps best provide for me and my family.
Yeah.
And so I totally understand the way that he reacted to that. And I mean, I do not envy anybody who is in a retail space where bourbon is being sold right now. I do not envy any. Did you know that Swan used to be in retail?
Does he have any Blanton still?
He might.
Okay.
Do you want to ask him?
Yeah.
Do you want me to text him?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll shoot him a text real quick.
But yeah, like just be respectful when you're hunting. I'm playing the side of the consumer who's getting the bourbon.
I get it.
And
I get it.
I would rather see everybody have a not get that negative what are you saying? Sign, that negative, I can't even think of the word.
Reaction, experience.
When you just assume, when people just assume that if you're coming in for bourbon, you're going to be a jerk. You know what I mean? Like no matter what.
Oh, like preconceived notion.
Like hopefully not any retailer or person working at a cash register who sees somebody in the bourbon section and they see them walking towards them. I don't want them to always be like, oh, this guy's going to be a jerk, or he's going to ask me if I have something that we don't have, and he's going to be mean to me about it or something like that. Like,
yeah, and the other thing, I think this is my last point on this before we move on, but it's been a long time since I really considered myself to be a bourbon hunter.
Yeah.
You know, like go out of my way to try to find anything that I might just happen to stumble upon. I'll run into a store that, like my honey hole kind of place every now and then.
Does he have any?
He said, I asked him if he used to work. I said, hey, you used to work retail, right? And he said, nah, I've never worked a day in my life.
Oh, he's a liar. We know that.
But I am just so far removed from that mindset.
Yeah.
And not that I ever was like intentionally going into stores and trying to be the entitled guy. You know, like, because
the entitled guy.
Boy, howdy, don't you know me?
Boy,
that guy
howdy.
who thinks that I'm supposed to get everything.
I'm on a podcast. Give me all the bourbon.
Maybe I went a little bit that way with the antique collection samples, and I apologize for that. But
I acted on.
I mean, we're also reviewing a Buffalo Trace product today. We'll talk about that in a moment.
I think my face is red too. I think that was stout.
I think we have gotten a little bit. Yeah. It's also a little warm out here.
Just you,
baby. I hated that. But anyway, I have a very tough time putting myself into that mindset of somebody who does feel entitled.
Yeah.
You know, I don't feel that way.
Why do people think they deserve a bottle of bourbon more than the other person that got it?
We could do a whole episode on this.
I know. I really like.
I think we should.
I really like this.
I think that we should pick this back up on another episode in a few weeks. But I don't think I have the emotional capacity at this particular moment to be like,
I want to go into
let's
it.
break down the psyche of bourbon hunters.
I want to prepare. I want to be prepared for it. I'm just saying, like, this was a nice evolution.
Yeah.
Thanks, my daily bourbon. You actually contributed for once.
I want to get Chad back on the show soon. Here's something that I want us to.
Just hear this. I just saw. No, I love Chad.
Here's something I want to do
Not really.
more of in 2023 with the podcast. Bringing people back onto the show that have been crucial to the backbone, the DNA of what we have done for the past 5 years.
Yeah.
And it's not like me saying I need to push you out or anything. I want you to be a part of those episodes, those conversations, those relationships.
You're trying to cuck me.
Yes, I am trying to cuck you. Yes, that's
You're
right.
gonna make me watch from the corner
Yeah,
while you talk to other people in my seat.
I want to cuck you with my own dad being on an episode.
Oh, that's a weird search history.
Never mind. But you know what I mean? Like, I want you to be a part of that because
I want to be a part of it.
This is the first time where I have had somebody who is so consistently involved in the production and the anatomy of the podcast that it's almost like introducing you to my parents. You know what I mean? Like
I've met them.
Yeah, I know. But like we've gotten over that hump of like,
Yeah, they haven't caught us in your bedroom yet. That's the real thing.
I never had that problem because I was a good kid.
Sorry, Gangran.
Okay. Well, my neck just got real tight there for a second. Do you want to review this Bourbon County Barleywine ale?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Nose, palate, finish, and price.
Goose Island's been listening. They're like, are y'all ever going to talk about this?
But that's an important part of the conversation, though.
Guy?
That's an important part of the conversation, though, because this is not excluded from retail outlets.
No, because this is today. People are running around trying to get these, and there are going to be those people that are rude to people.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. And there's going to be somebody who probably is rude to that person back, and, so on and so on.
Did you save the other bottle?
The bottle?
Yeah.
It's at the house.
Yeah, but you still have it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that, like, because after we get done with the last one next week, that we can line them all up and take a picture and just say thank you to Goose Island for sending these
I got
to us. Because, there is that current kind of mindset or discourse that people are having where
people are listening like,
media
entitled, you'll get them for free.
But I don't feel...
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the person listening.
I'm going to save that for whenever that episode happens, because there is a part of this equation where we do have to address our
I love when I accidentally make something good happen, like an accidental serious conversation. I don't do that very often.
No, but
and I didn't mean to. I went into that fully just trying to be an asshole to Chad. Because I was like, I'm gonna try to prove him wrong, but then it turned into something good.
So to wrap up the swan conversation of it all, I asked, so you don't have any Blantons then? And he said, I know a place in Frankfurt that has a warehouse of it if you're bold enough. I said, let's play Mission Impossible.
Well played.
It is. Oh, no, I'm not going to put that out into the public. I had something that I was going to say, but we'll tackle that another time. But again, I do think that it is important to address our privilege too.
Yeah.
With being able to try things like this, and I know that there is like a level of alienation that happens when we review some of these really allocated products and everything. But like, going back to the antique collection of it all, that like you brought up a very good point when we were having that discussion, that, it was kind of like hearing what your friends thought about it. Somebody who is not like trained as, and this doesn't really hold the weight that it might have about 5 years ago, but somebody who is more trained as a bourbon drinker or as a bourbon taster, like that doesn't really exist anymore. But yeah, I mean, there is a portion of it that you listen to this podcast not just because you want to learn more about bourbon, but you also want to have a connection to the people whose palates you might line up with, or you just enjoy kind of parasocially spending time with somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm that way with podcasts. I'm that way with the content that I consume. You know,
Exactly.
I enjoy that 30 minutes, hour and a half every week where I get to sit down and kind of catch up with people that I honestly have no connection to.
But you feel like they're your friends because it's like you're having that conversation with them.
Yeah.
In the car or sitting down working or whatever.
Yeah. Anyway. Goose Island, Bourbon County.
Man, I like this a lot.
2-year Barleywine ale.
I like this a lot.
Yeah, man. It's
Old Fitz bottled in bond barrels.
I kind of like it better than I did the Sir Isaac.
Oh, I'm all
Stout.
about this one. I'd buy a 6-pack of that. Is that possible?
It would cost you $100, but I didn't even talk about too the packaging that it came in, and I kind of manhandled it, trying to get the bottle itself out.
Let me see that.
But it is so nice.
Oh, it's like got a tag scent like on the side here.
But look at the front. That is like the exact shape of the Old Fitz decanter labels.
I love that a lot.
It's so well done. And this reminds me too of the.
You really did.
I told you, it's like falling apart as Eric's getting it out. But it reminds me of the Blanton's finished stout that came out last year. That was like in a bag that was similar to the Blanton's, and it had a mini horsey cork to go with it too. But just so cool, man.
I like that.
Just great presentation, great packaging. 10 out of 10 if we had a design category too that we were trying to rate. But nose, palate, finish, price?
Yes.
I'm assuming again that the price on this is probably $20 to $30.
Nose, I like this because it the nose and the palate to me are about the same. There's this like, whoa. What's starting soon?
Sorry, that was the wrong tab.
There's this
that didn't sound good at all, did it?
There's this like soy sauce thing, but I love the smell of soy sauce and I love the taste of soy sauce.
Yeah, it's a savory note that's kind of
it's this savory soy sauce thing going on. I love the feel of it because it's not as thick as the stout before. I mean, altogether, and how much did you say this was? $30 to $50 or something?
I was thinking like 20 to 30.
20 to 30.
But let me.
I mean, I'm not a big beer guy, so I can't, especially stouts. I can't really judge the prices on it. To me, altogether, I would say this is a 17 out of 20 in the bourbon stout category altogether. I would pay extra for this. Like, I think it tastes great.
Yeah.
I think the finish is really good too. Like, it gives me a little bit more of that savory note, but it makes me want to go out and have another drink. Yeah, I'll do 17 out of 20 in the stout category altogether.
You know, I just because, oh my goodness gracious.
Well, there you go.
Oh, that was from earlier this month. That wasn't even today. Just a big old line of people out at Goose Island. Sorry, let me point this out too. This was aged in 14, 16, and 17-year-old barrels. First time since 2018 as well. So I think that larceny might have been the last time that they put it out.
Nice.
Let's see. $40.
$40. I mean, that's a lot. I think it tastes like something that I'd pay $40 for.
Yeah. I just wasn't expecting that.
I mean, I would be like, hey, will you give me $20 and I'll pay the other $20 and we'll split this thing.
Yeah.
I think if you find it, I think you just go for it, especially if you enjoy beer or barley wine or stouts or Bourbon County stuff. Like, I think it's a buy.
Yeah. I mean, being the more...
Yeah, you tell me what you think.
Being the bourbon drinker, or excuse me, the beer drinker, more between the two of us, this, for me, rides the line between something that I would want to reach for just as a more approachable beer that I'm not, like, feeling like I couldn't have more than one of beer.
You want two of them.
I would have two of these for sure. But I'm saying that, well, in a perfect world.
Yeah.
Sure. But what I'm mostly saying is that this would not be my last beer in the way that like a Bourbon County Stout more than likely would be.
Gotcha.
You know?
Yeah.
Just because that is it is a much heavier product. This is just approachable.
Yeah.
And it's not super dense. It's not super light either. It's got an airiness about it that still feels like it was finished in bourbon barrels. It's got that backbone of being, bourbon influenced. But when it's all said and done, I mean, this is just an incredible beer.
I love this.
This is like an 18 out of 20 for me.
I was close.
Yeah. I mean, I'm stunned by this one. Genuinely surprised by how good this is. And I hope that I get to have it again. Like, that's the conundrum that we come to.
Yeah, these bad boys don't come in 6-packs.
No, you're buying them by the bottle.
Yeah.
But, we are privileged to be able to get these bottles sent to us by brands. And it's so much fun to be able to have them for the podcast, for media purposes.
Yep.
But once we have them and we drink them because they are timely, then we don't get to have them again.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this, though. I was really, really selfish last year and did not put out the reviews that I should have. And one of them is sitting on top of the the fridge over there.
It's a Blanton's.
And it's the Blanton's. And when you, me, and Papa Ritter sit down for an episode, we're going to crack it and drink that together.
Yeah.
So, but...
Where's he going to sit?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I haven't gotten that far. Probably there. Probably in your old seat.
Okay.
But we'll figure something out. But regardless, I am still a fan of these products. Like, I still want to get the kind of full experience that you would get by letting them sit for a few years in the bottle.
Yeah.
Because, for the most part, once they hit that 3 or 4 year mark, they're not changing anymore.
Yeah.
And so you should go ahead and drink them. So that's where I stand with these. But
I've got one in my fridge from last year.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's one that I can't remember which one.
So in 2020, before the pandemic, at Whiskey Weekend Batch 2, I brought Will and Grease each a 2019 Bourbon County Stout. Both of them.
Yeah.
It's their favorite, well, at least Grease's favorite beer.
Yeah.
And this year, when I had to drive that group down to Nashville and I stopped in to see, yes, I stopped in to see Will and Grease when I was driving the big bus, and Grease is like, I got to give you something, man. I got to give you something. He was like, how about a 2019 Bourbon County Stout? I was like, I gave you that.
That's the most greasiest thing ever.
I was like, that's the one I gave you, man.
I'd expect nothing less from that guy. No,
it killed me. It absolutely killed
Grease.
me. Yeah.
So Grease.
Anyway. Should we do another review or should we just...
I think we could review this.
You want to do the foolproof?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we got to finish on a bourbon.
We do, for sure.
And this is something that a lot of people can get now. It's pretty available everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I assume that once things are available in Kentucky, that means that they are then available everywhere.
But it's been out a while now.
But you know what I
Yeah,
mean, though,
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
usually
Yeah, because we're the last ones to get everything.
we are now.
What did I have in this? Jim Beam. Yeah, but yeah, usually if it's available here, that means people have got it 2 months before us or
Yeah.
however long.
So
Did you ever get, you and Swan ever get to this one?
we did. That episode never got released.
That's what I thought.
So I will probably wind up putting out, and nobody has anything to go off of, essentially. But I will. I'm curious to know what we said back then.
Oh, y'all are burning through them though. You're trying to make that extra content in case you were off for longer than you thought.
Yeah, I would also have to dig deep and find these.
It's all good.
But yeah, we did review these before Eden was born.
They were just popping out then. You couldn't even get them here.
No, I got all of them from the Brennickies.
Yeah, Indiana.
Here we go. Benchmark episodes.
I love that it says extra strong.
Does it really?
Extra strong.
Fantastic. But I think what I'll probably wind up doing, just because they haven't been released, these episodes haven't been released, but Swan and I did record them, and I want them to see the light of day. I will probably put them out as Patreon bonus episodes.
There you go.
Or something like that, so that at least somebody is hearing them.
I think that would be great.
But I feel bad about recording content and then never get into it. So let's also address the elephant in the room. This is a Buffalo Trace product.
It is.
Every time that I do or say something in the way that I did with that antique collection episode, where I got frustrated and said, I don't care anymore. This is the way that it is. I refuse to be the nice guy. What was that?
What was that? I don't know. Extra cord.
Oh, it was it's fine. Yeah. It bites me in the butt every single time.
Some people like that though.
It's not my. I'm not going to yuck your yum or anything.
Yeah.
But it's not my thing. Lo and behold, it got back to Buffalo Trace.
Hey.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that it did.
We know what we were doing.
Yeah. It is far more beneficial for us to maintain good relationships with the people that don't laugh at me. But to maintain good relationships with the people that have supported us in the past and that we have also supported in the past than to just burn that bridge and try to find ways to rebuild it in the future.
Yeah. It's true.
So
I don't think we went straight into it thinking we're just burning this bridge.
No, but it came off that way.
Yeah, but
and so this past week I was contacted by our media person at Buffalo Trace. And they said, it sounded like you weren't too happy with the antique collection samples and the way things went. And I apologized. I mean, I straight up apologized for the reaction that I had. And I said that, I was reacting in a way that I shouldn't have, that I should have taken more time with it and thought more about how I wanted to approach it. But I was genuinely upset.
yeah.
I deserve to have feelings and I deserve to have reactions to things that, in the same way that, I'm not trying to discredit people who go to stores and, expect for there to be a release and then it's not there and they get disappointed. You can have those emotions, you can have those feelings, but you don't have to take them out on anybody.
No.
And I feel like I took it out on Buffalo Trace. And I'm sorry that I did, because there are still, despite the fact that Buffalo Trace is now like this big bourbon corporation, there are still people who are behind that brand.
Yeah.
And there are people who are behind that brand that we are still friends with and that we still have good connections with. And so I want to take a step back, and instead of being so judgmental and so frustrated with the brand itself and essentially the people who might be making some of those bigger business decisions, to do the same thing, to practice my own preaching, or whatever the phrase
Practice
is.
what you preach.
Practice what I preach. Yeah. And, not take it out on the people who are actually representing an organization. They're just doing their job. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's been a turbulent few weeks. Lots of ups and downs and whatnot, but that's where we stand. And so I apologize to Buffalo Trace. I also apologize to the people who listened to that and went, I don't know about this. Like, this isn't Perry. This is my bourbon podcast. Not that I ever really heard like that kind of feedback or anything.
Probably me.
Honestly,
I'm a bad influence.
But I also heard more support for us.
Yeah.
Than I did anybody saying, why did you say that? Why did you act like that?
Right. Well, once again, bring it back. Like, I think that it's more of the common person. That's probably the same thing that the regular dude on the street who doesn't get the BTAC because somebody who buys more stuff at a store gets it, or somebody who does this. Like, it's just, like you said, bringing it back, it's just the emotions. It's like you just got to figure out the best way to express it.
Mm-hmm. And that was not the best way.
It's perfectly fine for us to vent.
Yeah.
And I think people expect that. And if it come off the wrong way toward Buffalo Trace, like Perry said, sorry. But we're just regular dudes.
But here we are.
We're just
here we are.
Dudes.
We can accept our faults. We can say we screwed up and we're going to move on from there. And that's what we're doing. And so, sure enough,
that's probably what people are going to be saying about me at the beginning of that topic when we were talking about. Like,
and if they've listened all the way through, they're like, oh,
listen to this guy. I love this ball.
Yeah. So this, I think, as far as like my daily drinkers go, or something that what did I say a couple weeks ago? A utility bourbon?
Utility, yeah, I like that. It's right in your bat belt.
It's right in my ball house.
Your ball belt. Hold your balls up.
Yeah. I think this is probably the bourbon that I have purchased and drank the most over the past couple of years.
I mean,
it is, I think, hands down, the best value.
$20, $25,
25-ish, yeah, 25.
Depending on the store.
Well, yeah, and like Ernie's, I think has it for almost 30.
Yeah,
but if you go into like Total Wine or Liquor Barn, it's like $22 for a 125 proof 4-year-old bourbon. Now, Jack Daniel's single barrel proof is 4 years old.
Right.
More than likely, when you buy one of those picks, when you buy one of those single barrels, you are picking up a 4-year-old whiskey.
But it's aged a little different, right? Like, as far as like, don't they bring them from the top or something like that? Or is that Old Forester I'm thinking of, like where they do like all the picks of Old Forester?
That's Old Forester, okay. But I wouldn't be surprised if that was also true of Jack Daniel's.
Gotcha.
So, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, non-age stated, so got to be 4 years old.
Extra strong.
At the very least, extra strong. It's Buffalo Trace's mash bill wine.
Yeah.
The lower rye.
You know what? And I love the bottle. I love the metal screw top. It looks like you're just an old school motherfucker. You know what I mean?
It reminds me of that gif of Oh, shoot. Dean Martin. I think he's even pouring Jack Daniels. But he pours it into his glass. And Dustin has used this GIF 1,000 times. But he pours it into his glass, and he's got like a worried look on his face. But then he kind of looks around and he just chugs from the bottle. Like it has that kind of, you're right. That classic like Rat Pack era vibe about it.
Like, everybody and their mother heard Weller 12 was on Yellowstone, but like, I would rather see this go across the screen.
I wouldn't, because then we wouldn't be able to find it.
No, that's true. I'm just saying it would look better on an old bar.
No, it would. It would. Weller 12 on Yellowstone. Oh, we never talked about that.
People went crazy. People went crazy.
That was such a weird 48 hours.
Crazy. I'd seen Wild Turkey in anime for 20 years.
I think my favorite response though was from Jeff Schwartz, who posted on Facebook like, don't go to bars, or don't go to liquor stores because you heard about Weller 12 on Yellowstone and ask for it. They're not going to have it. Ask if they have Blanton's instead. I just thought that was brilliant.
That was in perfect. John Wick too. Nobody went crazy over that.
Blanton's?
Yeah. Yeah, he drinks Blanton's in John Wick.
There was a friend of mine. Oh, it was my buddy Chase who plays keys for Tyler Childers. He was at home about a month ago, and he was watching something where they had a bottle of Blanton's, and it was written into the script. Clearly, it was just like they picked out this whiskey bottle because it looked nice.
Yeah,
and the characters kept saying about this particular guy, you know how he loves his scotch.
And it was Blanton.
And it was a Blanton's bottle.
Oh,
it was so good. And we were both like pissed about it, but at the same time, it was like funny. The incompetence that leads to that actually being a thing is amazing.
Buffalo Trace got unlocked though, because they George C. Stagg was in Sons of Anarchy. And then Pappy was in She-Hulk.
That's true.
Like, cheers to you. All my favorite shows.
And I saw somebody call this Stag Junior Jr.
Oh.
Which it is.
Yeah, true.
Because it's the same mash bill. Yeah. Everything that comes out of this line, I say it's like Colonel Taylor Jr.
Yeah.
Or Colonel Taylor's little brother.
It's butterscotch all over the nose.
Yeah, man.
Love it. Love that nose.
Butterscotch and cinnamon sugar and oaky smoky.
Oaky smoky. I don't get much smoke.
Bespoke.
Oaky smoky bespokey.
Yeah. Oaky from Skid.
Huh?
But whatever. Doesn't matter.
Oaky. Oaky and butterscotch.
Yeah. I think this would be great in the Mythical Turkey Reserve cocktail.
Ooh. Oh my God. It's been a little bit since I've had this. I have a bottle at the house. I just haven't got it out in a while. Man, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say, hey, this is the most like my complex pour you've ever had. So no, this is a $25 to $30, 125 proof bourbon that absolutely knocks the socks off most of other things that are in that price range.
Yeah.
If you are wanting something high proof that you can,
if you're on a budget,
and you need a utility,
bourbon. You can't afford your Knob Creeks. You can't afford your rare breeds. You
just came out. You
Elijah Craig barrel.
You
proofs.
held your emotions to the cash register because they didn't have Stag Jr. And you said thank you for everything you do. You walked out and then you screamed in your car and got mad. But you have 125 proof bourbon that is on the shelf. This is for you.
It is a miracle that we have readily available a Buffalo Trace product at this proof point and at this price.
You can get
just
this
sitting on shelves. And
easier than Buffalo Trace.
And you can buy cases of it.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy one per person.
No.
This is something you can leave the store with a full bag of.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. 125 proof.
125 proof. It's not a blow your socks off, make you slap grandma kind of bourbon. You've heard that phrase.
I never slapped grandma.
No, but you know the phrase though.
No.
Okay. Well, when I was little, I misunderstood it, and I would say, make you want to slap a camel.
I would rather slap a camel than my
No, I mean, I would too. I don't want to slap my grandmother. Either of them.
I mean, you were really excited about it, though.
Anyway.
Heck yeah, dude.
But it's just solid, man.
All right.
It's just such a solid product. I kind of know where most of this already, because I've had plenty of experience with this bourbon.
Oh, yeah.
But I kind of already know where most of these things are going to lie for me in each category. But again, nose, palate, finish, and price. Each category is out of 5. Final score out of 20.
It tastes. It tastes. You know what it tastes like, and this may sound like a negative review or a negative comment, but to me, it's good. It tastes like if you went to like an ice cream, like a craft ice cream place, and they made you a boozy milkshake, but they didn't really get it right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But you're like, hey, like I taste alcohol and I taste ice cream, and it's good enough for me.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what it reminds me of. It's like this is a boozy milkshake, but it's not like you may get a little too much alcohol.
Yeah.
But I enjoy that. I will just soak this. I'll just walk around soaking
It's the
that.
boozy milkshake for people who are not like us.
Exactly.
It's the accessible boozy milkshake where they just want to go like, oh, it's the
oh, that tastes like
it's
whiskey.
like, oh, I'm having a little bit of fun. I'm being a little bit crazy and wild,
I'm
and
rowdy today.
Don't tell my husband.
Yeah, don't tell him what's in this. Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, no. I think it smells really solid.
I think the nose. Really I actually like the nose better than the palate. As far as
I'm flipped.
Flipped.
But that being said, I mean, it's it's not, again, blow your socks off or anything, but it's so accessible and so drinkable. And I would have been in a world of trouble about 2 years ago
if you had this.
If I had this on my shelf constantly, if middle of the pandemic
pour, right there.
like that would have been. That would have been trouble.
9 a.m.
It would have been real trouble.
PM,
yeah.
Like, oh, well, it's gone.
Nose for me is a 3.
4.
Palate is a 4 for me.
3.5.
Finish is a 2.5. I think that's the weakest part.
Same.
It just kind of evaporates very quickly. But stupid. Look, man, I'll even round up $25.
Price?
I can't name a better value on the market.
I gave it a 4.5.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
I'm like a 14.5. Is that right?
Hold on, let me do my math.
Damn it, I even had my phone out and I think I messed it up.
I think I have a 14.
Yeah, 14.5.
Yeah, so I'm at a 14.
Yeah, I love the nose on this. I know we're flipped on the nose and the palate, but I think as far as like breaking it down, I can pull a few more notes out of the nose than I can the palate. I'm not saying either. That's just why I gave it a little bit more. Like there's this butterscotch and stuff on the nose that I really like. So yeah, I think you should buy. I think you should have one of these. You should have 2 or 3 of these.
Buy the whole lineup.
Yeah,
you can leave regular Benchmark on its own because that piece of crap is.
Unless you're a nerd.
That's my least.
Unless you're a nerd and you want to get really into it and compare them all.
I've said this before. I'll say it again.
It's so crazy that is part of this.
Yeah, Benchmark Old Number 8 is the only bourbon that gives me a headache immediately.
Oh yeah,
I always get a headache drinking that bourbon.
Yeah,
regardless. But I mean, you can get all 5 of these bottles: top floor, small batch, single barrel, bottled and bond, and full proof for just about $100.
That's crazy. A whole line, the whole set.
So
same price as one beat tag bottle.
Yeah. That's sad to think about. High proof hot takes.
Fucking dishwashing machines.
What about them?
They don't do their
They
job.
suck. Yeah. Well,
Why do you have to wash something?
why do you have to pre-rinse?
Why do you have to do that?
pre-wash?
I'm talking about the machines, not people whose job are to wash dishes. But they don't do their job, Perry.
I agree.
I
Eric.
just got done. I'm really fired up about this. I
can
just
tell.
got done doing dishes like 5 times because of Thanksgiving. I should have got more paper plates and stuff so I could just throw them away and ruin the earth, but I didn't. But why am I having to wash so much stuff to put it in a washer? Just do your job. Just do your job, dishwasher.
You know, we could go down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole here too, if we wanted. Because I kind of like think about it in the same way where
You think they're in with like the water companies?
see,
and
that's
stuff?
the thing. Is like I kind of think that in the same way that I think that
Not like
construction companies are in with big oil
yeah,
because they're trying to shut down highways
yeah.
with construction so that more people are spending more time in their car
Yeah.
on trips, so they have to get more gas.
What if we just reverse everything we said and Total Wine and Liquor Barn are in cahoots with Thanksgiving Day and holiday people?
Could be
big
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
They're in cahoots with Big Christmas.
Yeah.
With the big man himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen this sidebar? Have you seen that there is going to be a horror parody movie?
Winnie the Pooh?
No.
Oh.
Of the Grinch
Yeah.
called The Mean One?
Yeah.
I am so excited.
Yeah.
It looks insane.
Crazy.
I can't wait for it.
Oh my God.
It comes out like in a week or something.
Yeah, it's this month.
Like not long
Or coming month.
from now.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Anyway, sorry.
But yeah, dishwashers.
Yeah. They suck.
Hot take.
Tips and bits.
Tips and bits. What you got?
Well, I talked about it a little bit on was it pregame chats or Samply Irresistible? But
Pre-game, I think.
I've been playing the newest Luigi's Mansion. It's from 2019. I like it. I wouldn't say I love it, but I'm having fun kind of just...
Do you want some more of it?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I want to finish it. I mean, like, I'm not just going to leave it.
Billy Ray Cyrus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I love it.
Yeah.
I need some more
there we go.
of it.
Yeah.
Don't break my heart.
This is the Billy Ray Cyrus.
Make it. That's a bold statement. That is a bold statement.
Okay, never mind. Anyway, I interrupted you.
But yeah, so Luigi's Mansion 3, really fun, goofy, just it's got that same humor that the original does as well, which I've never finished, but every time that I play it, I'm like, oh, I get it.
I get it.
I get it. And I will go back and finish it eventually. Once I get my Wii set up out here that I can just use as a GameCube.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Essentially. It just, anyway. And then I've also been doing this thing. I as I was going through the music that I thought or just trying to figure out like
New
a
album?
song.
You're making a new album?
Not yet, man.
Oh, okay.
I wish. Hopefully within the next couple of years, I have the time to actually make some new music. Hold me to that.
Hey, hold me to it. I've been trying to make a new album with my dudes forever.
Man, it would just be...
We're just old fart heads now.
Yeah. If we can get ahead of like podcast recording sometime, then maybe we would be able to do it. But anyway, when I was going through my iTunes library, trying to find a song for our TikTok or reel for Thanksgiving Day, I kept coming across artist names that I didn't recognize.
You're like, where did I have this music?
I was like, why do I have this? And there was a period in, I think, like 2014 where I was just downloading whatever music I could find. And I never really listened to it. I just kind of had it because I felt like I needed to.
Yeah.
And so I'm finally going through and like finding music that I really, really enjoy. And so I'm gonna kind of pepper in these recommendations for a while as I'm kind of going through this journey.
Yeah.
Too. But the one that has stood out the most to me so far, and I'm gonna do my best to not like do all of this in alphabetical order. That's how it's popping up in my iTunes or my Apple Music, whatever. Benjamin Booker.
Not Benjamin Button.
Not Benjamin Button.
Okay.
Different thing altogether.
Okay.
Benjamin Booker is I believe, Atlanta, Georgia, born and raised blues musician. Who he put out like 2 albums, one in like 2012 and then another in 2014 or 2016 or something. And then he just kind of dropped off the face of the earth. Like he's still alive.
Yeah.
He still does some gigs every now and then. He played his first gig in September since like 2018. And
Virginia Beach.
oh, well, there
He
you
was
go.
born in Virginia Beach.
Sorry, Ben. Really fascinating music. Kind of this like neo soul, a little bit of like post punk energy to him as well, but very deeply rooted in blues and soul music, and just very, very authentic too. I mean, it's rare to find musicians that are kind of doing something that you can't really point to and say, oh, that sounds like this person, or, you know, there's something that is reminiscent of, you know, a different artist.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And he's so in and of himself that I wish I wish that there were more artists like that. I wish that there were more bands
When you
like that.
describe that, it reminds me, like, even though I've not listened to it, it reminds me of the band that we interviewed at Louder Than Life. Radkey.
Yeah, dude.
Like when you're saying all that stuff, I was picturing them for some reason.
No, they are not dissimilar.
Yeah.
By any means. But yeah, Benjamin Booker. Go check him out. And I guess if you want to play Luigi's Mansion 3
Yeah. While you
on
listen.
Switch.
Yeah.
I looked at my 5 most recently played games on my Switch, and all of them were Mario related titles.
It's me.
But Mario's my favorite favorite game series. Like, I just love Mario games.
It's a me.
So anyway,
Yes.
what you got this week, man?
What do I got? Well, I started watching a show. So I've been listening to a lot of What, you got one more?
No, I wanted to show you this, and this is the best time for me to show it to you. So Link has a cactus flea plant.
Oh my god!
Market
I gotta show you something
shirt.
then.
But how cool is that shirt though? I want it so badly.
Look what is dropping on the sneakers app here in
Cactus flea market.
November 29th. Remember those shoes?
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
$190.
Oh my gosh.
Nike Flea 1.
They're the worst, dude.
Look at those things.
That's
Sneakers app. Then they'll I could enter that, and I guarantee I will not win those. Not win the right to buy them.
cactus plant flea market. Sorry.
November 29th.
I got every word mixed up in
close enough.
that name.
That's close enough.
Cactus plant flea market.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
But I really liked you can watch random episodes of Good Mythical Morning or Ear Biscuits, and Link is wearing this shirt. I'll probably throw it up on the the actual YouTube video. But anyway, what's your tips and bits?
I've been listening to a lot of Andrew Santino's like podcasts and his comedy and stuff.
Oh yeah, you sent me a clip from the Theo Vaughn was on one of his episodes or something. Yeah.
He does a podcast with Bobby Lee called Bad Friends, which is really funny. He also has a podcast called Whiskey Ginger, which yeah, he's sponsored by Rabbit Hole.
Dude, I want him on the show.
Yeah, he's amazing.
I love that guy.
So I've been listening to a lot of his stuff, and I just started watching Dave, Lil Dicky.
Really?
So I'm all the way through the first season, and I'm partly through the second season. And I got to tell you, Dave on FX, it's on Hulu. It puts everything in a TV show that I would put in a TV show. I'm not saying I'm the biggest like hip hop guy, but I know a lot of hip hop. I know like some of the names that pop up on there. But Dave is about a white rapper who's out to be the best rapper ever. He's in California right now. And he does more. People try to say he's like a comedy rapper, but he's really just he's rapping about things like his penis and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the show itself, it shows his journey to becoming a rapper.
His name is a dick joke.
Yeah, Lil Dicky.
Yeah.
My dick sucks. That's his big little thing. But like every episode, it goes. It's a show that has like seriousness about somebody trying to like live their dream, but then there's also episodes about like weird sex and like different things like that. But then one episode deals with his hype man being bipolar.
Gator.
Yeah. And he's dealing with that. And I almost cried watching that episode.
That's an amazing piece of television.
He acted his ass off during that.
Yeah.
So I love it so much. I love that show so much. I binged the first season, and then I'm a couple episodes in the second season. And it's just such a fun show because it's serious, it's goofy, it's raunchy, and it comes back to serious, and it deals with like a lot of like just personal problems that we all deal with. It may not be the same situation you're in, but you've dealt with that similar thing before.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dave, Lil Dicky, amazing. Highly recommend it. And then Andrew is his like best friend who's his manager in the show, kind of like not the actual starring character, but kind of like that second character in the show. Yeah. And he's got a lot of good stuff out too.
I haven't gotten to it yet, but the last two seasons of Atlanta are now available as well. And I put Dave and Atlanta kind of in the same conversation because they do tackle a lot of the same issues, but from two very different points of view.
Yeah.
Very, very different walks of life. Which is just, I mean, it's the nature of, how people get into the hip hop game. But could I have sounded any wider?
No.
Yeah, fair enough. Dave is a masterpiece, though, man.
So good. So good.
There's one episode I cannot pinpoint.
There's an episode where him and
his
his girlfriend go to his girlfriend's sister's wedding, and it's just emotional the whole time. But, But there's one scene where he has to poop in the woods. Like it just kind of breaks up like the tension between everything. And then it goes back to like the seriousness of the conversation.
Dave is very much one of those characters that you can't help but root for.
Yeah.
Even though at times he is the worst.
You're an idiot. Like you're stupid.
He is
like,
the
why
worst
are you
at
doing
times.
That?
Yeah. But anyway. We also started the newest season of White Lotus not too long ago. I'll talk about that once the whole season's finished up. But I forgot how much I enjoy that show. Now it's set in Italy instead of
Oh wow.
where was it originally? Hawaii. Yeah, it was in Hawaii.
Hawaii.
During the first season. But regardless, man, it's been a really fun episode.
It has.
We have been all over the place with it, and I've enjoyed every second
I
of
lost
it.
an argument. I did make myself look good.
I backtracked on an argument that I had with a big bourbon brand.
I was trying to put my point across, and I came across the wrong way.
You lost friends. You made enemies.
I lost friends, gained them back.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen after this airs?
But I hope that you have enjoyed listening to this episode as well.
I enjoyed listening.
We're all over the place, I think, right now with the the tone of what these episodes are. But at the same time, you know, I still do want to incorporate some like news and things into what we regularly do. Maybe not so like formally, where we just go through headlines, but maybe we just kind of talk about some releases that we're excited about. We talk about some headlines that are important, but you know, as we kind of are recovering from our Thanksgiving hangover.
Sure. You still got like 5 to go.
Yeah, I'm not done yet.
No.
I'm not done yet.
You're like on hangover number 2. You know what else is good for a hangover?
Tell me.
Patreon.com.
Hey!
Go to My Bourbon Podcast. For as little as $1 a month, you can support the show. And at $5, you get all the bonus stuff. We're in the middle of season 3 of Sample Irresistible, the weird season. We're either going to gain a lot of viewers or we're going to lose them. And then they're going to come back at season 5 when everybody's like, oh my God, it's back. It's back, baby. It's better than ever. But yeah, go to patreon.com. You can get all the bonus stuff, uncut episodes. You get this episode earlier than everybody else. So you're cooler than them.
Let me say, I want to say something too. I'm trying not to make this sound like a backhanded compliment, but the amount of people who are on Patreon versus the amount of people who interact on Patreon weekly, it's a pretty big disconnect. And I think that I'm trying to build a positive out of this. It just goes to show that people are supportive of and believe in what we do so much that they don't always feel like they need to receive anything back.
Oh yeah,
by supporting the show.
Yeah.
And so if you fall under that category, thank you.
Yeah.
In a weird way, but also if you like what we're doing here,
if you want something, tell us.
You're missing so much that is this, but to the nth degree.
Yeah.
And also if you want us to do something different on Patreon, please let us know.
Yeah.
Because we are literally throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. Not literally.
That one's still sticking. Good Lord, that was like 2 months ago.
Yeah, but anyway, it just is nice to have people who are supporting the show and believe in the show, and they don't expect anything back from it. But the thing is, like, I am committed to giving something back.
Right.
We are committed to giving something back.
There's next week's Patreon pregame episode. I wanted people to tell us their worst dish for Thanksgiving that they had and their best, and I was going to rate them and see who had the actual worst dish out of all the Patreon members. So,
yeah. Post pictures too.
Yeah, pictures. Send us a message,
if you have them,
anything like that.
But it just an aside, because I guess we are in the mood of thankfulness.
Thank you, Patreon.
Thank you to everybody who supports us over there, and also thanks to whatever happened in the algorithm or whatever you want to call it. I texted Eric Wednesday morning and I said, I think there's a leak in the boat.
Somebody's leaked the boat. Somebody is causing a waterfall
because
now.
The episode from 2 weeks ago, 256, this episode is huge. New riff, Widow Jane, and Masters Keep Unforgotten reviews. It like exploded. I don't know how. I don't know why either.
Hacker man.
I'm worried that there's some random bot that got set up to, I don't know.
I think we figured it out.
I think we did too, but that's for us to
That's just
talk
for
about
us to
internally.
figure out,
Just shocked by it.
Yeah.
So if somehow you were a part of that, thank you for
yeah. Thank you.
making that not only our most popular episode ever, but for coming back and listening to another one or watching another one. So anyway, all beside the point. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
I don't care. It's your show. I'm just here. You created this. This is your baby. I'm like the diaper. It's your child, but you need me.
You soak up all the
You need
all
me.
the refuse.
I gotta be there.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so
Fair enough.
I'm just here.
Yeah.
If you want to send Perry some diapers, you can ask for his address at thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. Or if you want to send a question or ask us to review something or a pairing,
I
send
will
an
accept
email.
diapers though.
Yeah,
I mean
he needs them still.
that's something that
He's got a
we
little
always
bit
need.
to go before potty training. If you want to get some merch and apparel, bourbonshop.threadless.com. Perry put some new stuff up there a couple weeks ago. Probably be getting some Christmas designs.
We will
up.
have new Christmas designs up by the time this episode comes out. They will be here on screen. No, on screen, doofus.
Oh, I thought you were going to say here.
No, that's where Morbius and Deadpool are.
Oh, that's true. That's our variants. If you want to get some Whiskey Mutant merch, you can go to whiskeymutant.myshopify.com. Use code WM25 for 25% off. I've actually got a lot of orders going out. I've almost got all that.
Nice.
Yeah. Almost
Good.
got all that stuff done. And once I get rid of all the merch I have now, I'm going to put out some new stuff. So get in on that. If you want to leave a message on the Barrel Ring segment, that's where you call in 859-428-8253. Leave a message. We'll play it on here. We'll reply back to you. I've said it forever. That's your easiest way to get on the podcast. You want to be on a podcast? Leave a message. We'll play it. If you want to go to all social media at My Bourbon Pod, Instagram, Facebook, we got a Facebook group. This is My Bourbon Podcast Facebook group. Join that. We got some stuff going on in there. But yeah, My Bourbon Pod on all social media. If you want to follow me at Whiskey Mutant. If you want to follow Perry at PRitter1792. Perry just watched the funny video.
Sorry, it's from a Twitter account called Chaotic Drunk Videos.
Okay, I like that.
It's got some really good stuff over there. Anyway,
If you want to go to YouTube, This is My Bourbon Podcast on YouTube. You can watch this episode. If you're not doing that now, you can join Perry live every Thursday at 8. I try to join him every once in a while when I am off work. But we put the podcast not live, we put the video version on there, and he goes live on Thursdays at 8. And then leave us a review, 5 stars or 1 star. We'll read it out. Either way, probably helps us. I don't know. Do 1 stars help us?
yeah, they actually do.
Okay.
They actually do. Yeah, it because somebody is
5.
because they are interacting with the show. It does it does push us up.
There we go.
But the difference is that we it looks better if we have
Make us
more
look better.
5-star
So do a
reviews.
5 star.
So
And then just tell your grandma about us or your mom. We like moms and grandmas. Cousins, stepbrothers, stepmoms, stepdads, real dads. You can just tell anybody about us, right? We don't care.
no,
We don't.
I don't.
I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
My dad was never around, so the more dads I have, the better.
Okay. Well,
Is that a podcast?
that's a podcast. That
Damn.
is certainly a
That's been a
podcast.
podcast.
It has been a podcast. And this has been my bourbon podcast, but that's not
Your bourbon podcast.
sure. Whatever.
The listener.
We'll see you next week.
You
Next
created it,
week,
so it is your bourbon podcast.
yes.
I'm the diaper.
Next week we're
I'm a diaper.
next week we're gonna wrap up our Bourbon County Stout reviews for the media samples that we were sent. And should we talk about the bourbon consumer conundrum
I don't know. I mean,
entitlement?
possibly.
I think we should go ahead and do it.
Okay. I
Let's
think it's a
tease-
great topic.
Tease that for next week.
Yeah.
So
tell us below. Leave us a comment.
please
Tell
do.
us what y'all think. We'll talk about it.
That does it for this week, though. We'll see you guys real soon. Thank you so much for listening, for supporting the show. All those good things. Tell your friends. It's the best way for us to become
And moms.
part of...
Moms drink bourbon. Too.
Moms do drink bourbon.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all real soon. Until then, I'm Perry.
I'm Eric.
And this is My Bourbon Podcast.